All right, good evening and welcome to this Yoga for Recovery, Realization, and Resilience 3R Yoga. My name is Brian and I'm delighted to be with you this evening. Tonight's class is going to be an especially invigorating one for the breath. We're going to use the breath quite a bit. It is not that I need a reason for this, because it's always appropriate to do breath work, our most powerful tool for mindfulness, but it is high pollen season here where I am, perhaps pollen season where you are also. So this clearing of our lungs, this freeing of our and expanding of our capacity is really wonderful work for us to do to keep ourselves present and clear. So, as always, quick intro. You remember if you're new here, let me remind you that let me tell you, if you're new here, that our first guiding principle is support precedes action. So ensure that you have everything you need to support yourself: blocks, straps, bolsters, blankets, eye shades, chair, tissues, anything that will support you, and then avail yourself of it. Secondarily, remember, or let me tell you, that it is your practice. So I'm going to offer and suggest and invite that you do some things from over here. Ultimately, they're just that, offers and suggestions and invitations. You are in the privacy of your own space by design, and the only requirement for you is to be present and to breathe. Everything else is an option. So anytime you lose your focus on the breath, anytime you lose your breath, anytime you're not calm, steady, focused on the breath and moving within your own body, then stop and modify, adjust, support yourself, come back in as you are ready. All right, enough talk. Let's practice. We're going to begin with grounding and landing and centering and raising gratitude and setting intention. So how are we going to do all that? Very simply, let us find a supported posture, whatever that looks like for you, and feel into whatever part of your body is in contact with something. So if you're like me, seated cross-legged, you're going to feel the outside of your feet and the outside of your calves against the mat. You're going to feel your sits bones, the pointy bones at the base of your hip girdle, against the cushion or the mat. And then you're going to feel into that physical sensation of connection at those places. And you're going to bring your awareness to that physical sensation of connection as support. Grounding into the earth through your body, that is support. How does it feel to be supported in this moment? What is it like to know now that support is always available in this moment? And then I'll invite you to ground or root through those places of connection so that you can lengthen your side body, lengthen your spine, lengthen your crown. I'll invite you to nod your head up, down, sideways. Feel that back of the neck release so you can feel the full length of your spine from the base to the crown. And then notice what happens for you as your spine aligns and elongates. Notice perhaps you feel the energy body engage and come online. Perhaps you feel the chest expand and the heart open. Just notice what you feel as you elongate and align the spine, and then keeping the spine long and straight. Turn your awareness inward to your breath. Begin to breathe in and out through the nostrils, following your inhale into your body, wherever it may go, without stress, strain, or exertion. Following your exhale out of your body, emptying completely, letting go of all that is no longer needed. And on your next inhale, I invite you to float your hands to your heart in a way that brings awareness to your heart space, and allow to arise in your heart space gratitude. A sense of gratitude, any one thing for which you are grateful here this evening. Perhaps for you today, just the possibility of gratitude, whatever it is that arises for you when gratitude is called forth. I invite you to see that clearly in your mind's eye. And then to anchor your gratitude in your heart space and hold it there for the duration of your practice. And then finally this evening, if you choose to set an intention for your practice, I invite you to do so now by stating it to yourself in a clear and declarative voice, as if it is already done. Listening for the echoes of your intention in your being, I invite you to take a full inhale. And as you exhale, if you choose to, allow your chin to drop toward your grateful and intentional heart and offer a benediction to seal your intention as I say, Namo, Namaste. And then release the chin, release the hands, lift the chin. Bring yourself to your supported seat. Feel into your centering. Make any adjustments you need to feel supported. We're going to be seated for a bit here, so feel free to change your crisscross or to bring a chair to play, whatever you need to do. We're going to begin with a breath in and out through the left nostril. So take your right hand, thumb and forefinger together on the knee, thumbs up for inspiration. I'm sorry, palms up for inspiration, palm down if you need a little more grounding. Take your left hand, point the finger straight up, did I just say left? Bring your right hand, fingers straight up, bring your right thumb against your right nostril, blocking the right nostril. Bring your awareness to your left nostril. Begin to breathe in and out through the left nostril. Full, deep yogic breath, long, deep breath, down into the abdomen, perhaps. Maybe into the ribs, maybe into the chest, wherever it is for you, and then breathe out completely. Continue in and out through the left nostril. Now, in all of our breath exercises, the body is very still. The awareness is on the breath in the nostril, and the focus is at the brow point if the eyes are closed. Or if you're uncomfortable, like many of us are, with closing your eyes, just narrow your gaze to something not moving just beyond the tip of your nose. In and out through the left. Find your rhythm, your pace, your breath, your practice. In and out through the left. Inhale and exhale are equal. Length, volume, duration. Inhale fully. Drop your right hand, thumb and forefinger together. Bring your left hand up. Make sure left thumb against the left nostril. Exhale through the right and continue in and out through the right nostril. Notice the difference one side to the other. May not be the same, and that's exactly as it should be. Different nostril, different channel, different hemisphere of the brain. Right nostril is the activating channel, the sun channel, the Pingala Nadi, connected to the left brain, left hemisphere of the brain. Again, find your rhythm. Be in your breath. Let everything settle. Be very still. If you find the tendency is to lose your stillness, then remember, our tools are designed to help us to be calm, steady, focused on the breath, and moving within our own body. So if you find that is not the case, then adjust and modify until that is the case. Just breathing here. Inhale fully. Release the left hand down. Be very still. Exhale. Let the breath stabilize. Full inhalation. Complete exhale. Cleansing breath. Full inhale. Sigh it out. Now, the arms are up, face forward, 60-degree angle. Fold the fingers back to the top of the heel pad. The thumbs are in an arc over the head as if they were going to touch. Hmm. Yeah. Okay. Now, if you are pregnant or on your menstrual cycle, please do not pump the diaphragm. Just breathe long, deep inhale, complete exhale. Otherwise, we're going to engage the diaphragm in a breath of fire here, breathing in and out through both nostrils. So take a full inhale to prepare and begin. Find your rhythm, your pace, your breath, your practice. If you're not familiar with this, the diaphragm pulls back and down on the exhale. The diaphragm moves out and up on the inhale. Now, again, the inhale and exhale are equal. Tendency here, if you're using the diaphragm, it's a little easier for a lot of us to pull back and down than it is to let it go out and up. And so we tend to get overemphasized on the exhale. If that's the case, then adjust, modify, stop, reestablish yourself, make sure your breath is equal here. It's an equal breath. In and out through both nostrils. Totally focused here. Third eye or just beyond the tip of your nose. Be very still as you're breathing. Everything's internal here. We're lighting up the inside. Breath of fire, bringing a little fire to the body, to the brain, to the spirit, to the psyche. Activating across all five bodies. The yogis say we have five bodies. You're like me, now you have body image issues in five bodies. Thank you so much for that. And we do this particular practice to burn away those body image issues and to be fully present in here. Ego adjuster, ego eradicator. Inhale, let the fingers go long, bring the thumbs to touch over the head. Lift at the base of the spine, lift at the pelvic bowl, engage the root lock. Arms are up, but the shoulders are relaxed. Tuck the chin toward the chest, engage the chin lock. Mula Bandha, root lock. Jala Bandha, chin lock. Fingers extended to the ceiling, get long through the spine, be still. As you're ready, release your locks, release your hands, release your breath. Hands to the knees, thumb and forefinger touching, be very still. Notice what shifted for you. Powerful opening breath practice. Total shift. Whatever was going on, allow the breath to stabilize here. Now we're going to begin some movements here from this seated posture. Again, remember to adjust as you need, as you feel supported. You want to be supported here. We're going to begin to move the torso. We're going to alternate movements and breath as we move through what's known as the spinal series. So we'll begin with our stomach grind. So we're going to inhale, bring the torso forward in a rotation. Exhale, take the torso back. Doesn't matter which way you started. We're going to go both ways. So inhaling forward, exhaling back. Now, movement and breath is a simple movement. So we're aligning the movement with the breath. So when the breath starts, the movement starts. The breath ends, the movement ends. Inhaling forward, exhaling back. So as wide or as narrow as is appropriate for you. See if you can feel into moving from the diaphragm area, from just below the navel, right? So for those of you that have ever done belly dancing, you'll understand that a little better. It's like your navel is actually leading this whole movement. The tendency for a lot of us is just to let the head move, and we're moving that, and that's not what we want. We want this belly to be fully engaged here, breathing. Find your rhythm and your pace. And after your next rotation, Stop and move in the opposite direction. Still moving forward on the inhale, back on the exhale, except now we're moving the torso in the opposite direction. And notice how you have a different sense of your internal organs as you switch your movement. You may find that it's a little more, there may be a very different experience in terms of the feeling in your kidneys, in your liver, in your stomach. We're just rotating the spine against the fixed hips. These are all spinal movements here, and it's called the spinal series. The yogis tell us we're only as old as our spine. And so we understand that age is just a number. How old would you be if you didn't know how old you were? Moving with the breath. All right, inhale back to center. Gently retain this breath while lifting at the base of the spine, at the pelvic bowl. Relaxing the shoulders, tucking the chin, being very still. All right. And exhale, release the lift, release the lax. Make any adjustments you need to your posture. Hands are going to be out over the knees, palms down. On the inhale, we pull the palms up toward the hip girdle as we open the chest and lift the heart, lift the crown, breathing in through the nostrils. On the exhale, we take the hands, palms slide down the thighs, the spine the spine rounds, the chin comes toward the chest, the hips roll under, breathing out through the mouth. So inhale through the nose, arching and lifting. Exhale through the mouth, rounding and releasing. Powerful breath here. Fully engaged, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Arching on the inhale, rounding on the exhale. One more time here. Inhale. Exhale. And now we're going to switch. Inhale through the mouth. Exhale through the nose. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. Inhale, mouth. Exhale, nostrils. Continue your rhythm, your pace, your breath, your practice. Fully engaged here. One more round here. As you exhale, retain the breath out. Lengthen the spine. Lift at the base, root lock. Relax the shoulders, tuck the chin, chin lock. Focus third eye, very still. As you are ready, release your locks, release your breath. Let everything settle, let the breath stabilize. Notice your experience, notice what shifted. Notice the power of the prana, this breath work. Notice the ability of the pranayama or breath control practice to change the mind state, bring us present. Breath is our most powerful tool. Cleansing breath, full inhale. Sigh it out. Hands will cross in front of the chest so that hands will go to the opposite shoulders, elbows tucked in. Firm, long spine. Inhale, get long. Exhale, lean to the left. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, lean the torso to the right. The head is neutral. Torso just moving left and right. Lateral stretches here. Feel this in the outside of the obliques, rib cage. Moving with the breath. Exhale down. Inhale up. Again, simple movement. Aligning movement with breath. Calm. Steady. Focused on the breath. Moving within our own bodies. We're teasing the torso open. Lateral. We began with the rotation. Now we're doing some lateral movement. I'm going to move the spine 4 separate directions. Before we're done, we did some flexion and inflection or arching and rounding. Now we're moving laterally. Last one here, inhale up. Again, gently retain while lifting. Root lock engagement here. Let everything come to center. Tuck the chin, relax the shoulders. Feel into the center of your being. Notice where the energy is. Notice where you feel expanded, aware. Notice where you feel contracted, dense. No judgment. Nothing to do, just noticing. Gentle curiosity here. Can we be curious about our experience here? As you're ready, release the locks, release the hands, release the breath. Long spine, rooted seat. Focus, third eye or tip of the nose, be still. Notice your experience. Cleansing breath here, full inhale. Sigh it out. Prana Shakti, moving energy with the breath. So on the inhale, one arm will go high with the fingers extended. The other hand will come into a fist, elbow against the ribs. And then we'll switch. Moving with your breath. Body is still. Spine is long. Full engagement here. In and out through the nostrils. Extension on the inhale, grounding on the exhale. Fully locked into place here. Inhale, both arms up. Fingers long, crown long, spine extended. Shoulders relaxed, chin tucked. Be very still. Feel into that vibration, energetic flow. As you're ready, release the hands, release the breath, release the locks. Very still here. Let the breath stabilize. Feel into your experience. Be very still. Notice that wonderful buzz of energy, perhaps. Maybe a little expanded awareness, perhaps. Maybe not. Just notice your own experience here. Let's take a cleansing breath. Full inhale. Sigh it out. Complete exhale. The eyes come open if they're closed. Notice your experience. Just make any shifts you need. If we've been sitting for a few minutes, let's just do that. Cross your legs, change your crisscross if you like. Or just take your legs out in front of you and pedal the legs a little bit. Let that energetic flow happen in the legs. Release any tension in the hips. Bring yourself. Reestablish a supported seat, whatever that means to you. All right. Now, this next is a twist. So if I'm going to take my arms up and fold them at the elbows are at the shoulder height. We'll bring the thumb behind the shoulders and the forefingers will just hook lightly in front of the torso. This stabilizes the torso. If that's not available or accessible to you or uncomfortable to you, just let your hands fall and then just let your hands just kind of slide across the top of your thighs as you're rotating. We're going to rotate, inhaling to the left and exhaling to the right. So we're doing our twists now, moving with the breath. Very simple movements here, nothing exotic, nothing untoward here. No stress, no strain, no overexertion. Remember, in yoga, there is nowhere you have to be or go. You are already here, and you are whole and complete as yourself. So in this practice here reminds us that we are complete, whole, full, totally. Everything we need has already been given to us. We allow and accept and surrender and trust. And then we act from that place. I can do this. It's just breathing. Inhaling left, exhaling right. Continuing. Twisting the torso open gently with the breath. Inhale back to center. Again, gently retain while lifting. Engage your root lock here. Very still. Engage your chin lock here. Notice what happens in the heart space. Bring everything to the heart. The elbows up. If your elbows are up, they're opening the heart space vertically and horizontally, allowing this work to center in that heart space. Check in with your gratitude. Check in with your attention. And then slowly and gently release your locks, release your lift, release your arms, release your breath. Very still here. All right, we're going to take a moment here to breathe. Full inhale through the nostrils. Let's take a cleansing breath first. Full inhale. Sigh it out. Okay, let everything stabilize. Very calm, very still, very steady. All right, we're going to do a stabilizing, balancing breath here. We inhale through the nostrils, a full inhalation to the extended crown. If you like to picture this as moving the inhale up and down, you can. So we're breathing in and up the back of the spine to the crown of the head. And then the exhale is going to be 7 parts. So we're going to break the exhale up into 7 parts. Out the nostrils. And if you like to think about exhaling down those 7 energy centers or chakras, so we're exhaling from the crown, skull, throat, heart, navel, sacrum, root of the spine. If you like to visualize that, you can. Otherwise, just breathe in, full inhale, and 7-part exhale. Very still. Hands in Gyan Mudra, thumb and forefinger touching, very grounded, very settled here. Find your rhythm. And your pace. Your rhythm. Your breath and your practice. Maybe you notice as you settle into this how the breath begins to still. Maybe you gets a little silent, maybe not. Just notice for yourself. Be very much in your own experience. You're just breathing here. Long, deep inhale. Full, complete exhale. Breathing up the spine to the crown of the head, just outside and above the head. Breathing out, down through the energy centers, crown, the skull, the throat, the heart, navel, sacrum, base of the spine, the root. And then breathing back up through those energy centers, up the back of the body, down the front of the body. Circular breath here. One more round, wherever you are. So when you finish that exhale, just let the breath come and go. Be very still. Feel into your own experience here. All right. All right. One last movement of it's actually not the spine that's going to move here. It's the shoulder blades, but it'll feel like we're teasing the spine up and down. We're teasing the energy up into the brain. So we're going to bring the hands to the thighs. And then on the inhale, we'll lift the shoulders toward the ears. On the exhale, we'll release the shoulders down. In and out through the nostrils. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Find your rhythm and your pace. Now, there's a tendency here to scrunch in the back of the neck, and we want to avoid that. The neck is very relaxed. It's really just the shoulders that are moving. The head is relaxed and resting atop the spine. You're teasing the shoulder blades up and down the spine. Maybe as you find your rhythm, you begin to feel into this. Maybe your breath moves a little faster. Maybe not. It's not necessary. What's necessary is that you be calm and steady and focused on your breath and moving within your own body. We're just teasing, nudging, opening that center channel. Did all that work on the Ida and Pingala, the left and right channels, the sun and moon channels. Our goal is to open that center channel, that Sushumna, allow that cerebrospinal fluid to move up the spine. bathing our third eye, our sense of intuition, inner knowledge, awareness. Inhale up. And exhale, release the hands to the knee, thumb and forefinger together. Let the chin drop toward the chest. Now, if you have any neck issues at all, simply nod your head gently up and down, left and right. Otherwise, if you're comfortable, gentle neck rolls start in one direction. And just do a couple. And then switch and move in the opposite direction. One more here. Inhale, back to center. All right, we got one more breath here. So the hands will interlace. The right thumb will extend. The left forefinger and left thumb will circle the base of that right thumb. The right thumb points up. The hands are right in front of the navel. All right. I'm going to inhale through the nostrils. Gently retain this breath. And now we're going to pump the belly 5 to 11 times. So let's just start with 5. And if you feel like adding on, we'll work to 11. Now, again, if you're pregnant or on your menstrual cycle, please do not pump the belly. Just gently retain the breath, long, deep inhales and exhales. All right, after your 5th pump, you're going to exhale completely. Gently hold the breath out. And again, pump 5 times. And then inhale fully. Pump 5 times while retaining. And then exhale fully. Gently retain the breath out and pump 5 times. And that's the movement, that's the breath, that's the practice. Body's very still. Focus on the breath. Awareness on the breath. Focus at the brow point. And if you'd like to add a pump each time, maybe working your way up to 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 or even 11. Don't go more than 11 for this particular time. As we work with this practice a little bit more, ultimately we'll eventually work our way up to 21. But today, this is probably an intro. I don't know that I've taught this one before. So just work to 5, between 5 and 11. Be so comfortable. Remember, we're calm and steady and focused on the breath and moving within our own bodies. Full inhale. Spine is long, body is still. Working with the retention in and out. At your next exhale, as you finish this last exhale and this last set here on the exhale with retention, allow the hands to come to the knees, allow the breath to come and go, be very still. Perfect. Beautiful. All right. Let everything stabilize for a moment. Just notice your experience. Notice what shifted for you. Notice where you feel, what you feel, how you feel. Let's take a cleansing breath, full inhale. And sigh it out, complete exhale. And then I invite you to come around to your mat on your back. We'll do a twist, and then we'll move into our guided rest. We want to twist out some of this work. So let's come down onto our backs for a moment. Extend the legs, extend the arms. Take the arms overhead, interlock the thumbs. Press through the fingertips. Press through the heels. Dorsiflex the toes back towards the face. Full inhalation here, just stretching out, letting everything get long. And then exhale, let the toes come to neutral. Switch the interlock of the thumb. Inhale, get long, extend through the fingertips, and this time press the toes, flex the toes away from the face. Again, big, full length extension. Inhale. And exhale, let the toes come back to neutral. Bring the knees to the ceiling, the heels toward the hips. Walk the feet out to the wide edges of your mat. Let your knees fall together. Take your hands to your abdomen. Feel that abdomen relaxed here. And then just windshield wiper the legs. So gentle movements. Very gentle here, right? We've been sitting for a while. The hips are very stiff. We're just teasing the hips open here. Opening up. Legs go, knees go right and left. We like windshield wiper the knees. The spine stays down on the mat. Crown is extended and long. Lower spine is engaged. We're fully supported here. Gentle movements. Couple more here. Come back to center. Bring the knees together. Walk the feet back in. Bring the knees into the chest. Squeeze the knees and rock a little side to side. Maybe rotate the hips a little bit. A couple times. If you rotate your hips, please rotate in both directions. Yeah, balancing that out. There you go. All right. Now bring the soles of the feet together. Let the heels fall to the mat. Sides of the feet against the mat so the knees are opened up. Now experiment with your heels in relation to your hips to find that place where your knees feel most relaxed and supported. Maybe you want to take your block and place it underneath your knees. We're just going to be here for a moment, teasing the hips open. Releasing any last tension that might be in those hips. Long spine, lower spine supported, feeling ourselves opening up here. Maybe a little butterfly action, no gentle tease, just finding that place where the knees release. But then we want to be still. We're done with the movement here. We're just releasing all that locked in tension we put in the hips from all of that work. So we move the spine in all directions today against the fixed hip girdle. Now we're just opening and relaxing, releasing any tension in that hip girdle before we move into our guided rest. On the inhale, take the hands to the outside of the thighs, bring the knees back together, extend the legs long. Bring the knees into the ceiling, the heels in toward the hips. And then take the left leg high. Reach up and grab behind the left leg. Pull the left knee toward the face. Create space across the groin and then cross the left thigh tightly atop the right. Dropping the left foot outside the right calf. Take the arms out 60 to 90 degrees. Create space, lengthen the spine, and then exhale. Let the knees fall over to the right. Maybe looking over that left shoulder. Gentle twist here. No need to go anywhere. You're already here. Let gravity and the weight of the legs do the work. We're just twisting open across the front of the body. Feel that big opening across the front of the body. Breathe down behind the left hip. Full inhale. Complete exhale. Breathe in here. Breathe out here. Inhale here. Exhale here. Inhale the legs back to neutral, the head back to neutral. Take the left heel to the ceiling. Reach up behind the left leg. Bring the knee to the face. and then extend the left leg long. Extend the right leg long to join it. Notice the difference in the hips. And then bring the knees to the ceiling, the heels toward the hips. And then take the right leg high. Press through the heel, reach up behind the right leg, pull the right knee toward the face, create space, and then cross that right thigh tightly atop the left, dropping the right foot outside the left calf. Arms out, inhale here, crown long, inhale here. Exhale, let both knees fall over to the left, looking over your right shoulder. Again, weight of the legs and gravity doing the work. No need to press or exert. No extra effort here. We're calm and steady. Focused on the breath, breathing in behind that right hip. Big open twist here. Inhale here. Exhale here. Breathe in. Breathe out. A full inhalation. A complete exhale. Inhale back to center. Take the right leg high, reach up and pull the knee toward the face, and then extend the right leg long, extend the left leg long. All right, let's see where we are. Okay. All right, let's move into this. Let's bring everything into the center. Bring the knees toward the chest. Bring the hands toward the heels, maybe to the ankles, maybe to the shins, maybe to the heels and the bottom of the feet. Bring the nose toward the nose toward the knees. I'm sorry. Forehead toward the toes. We're making a nice tight little ball here. Now, when you find yourself in your tight little ball, now engage your root lock. Engage your chin lock. And then begin a breath of fire here. Notice the compression on the diaphragm. Again, if you're pregnant or on your menstrual cycle, you're just doing long, deep breaths. Squeeze, though. Tight little ball here. How contracted can you get? Calm. Steady. Focused on the breath. Feeling the movement within your own body. Last dynamic movement, last movement of the practice. Give everything you have to it. You know you got this. Twenty more seconds here. Full inhale. Retain and squeeze. 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 Exhale, release. Let the legs go long. Let the toes fall open. Let the crown go long. Take the heels as wide as is comfortable for you. Turn your palms up by your hips. Pull down on your side ribs. Feel your lower side supported. Let go here. This is your rest posture. Take a moment here in your rest posture to avail yourself of any additional support you may need or want. Maybe you have an eye cloth. Maybe you have a blanket or a shawl. Maybe you have a bolster. Anything that'll provide you perhaps 1% more support. Go ahead and bring that to bear. And then allow yourself to be done. You're done? Be done. Allow yourself to let go. Release any shaping of the mind, any shaping of the body, any shaping of the breath. Release any analysis of the practice, any evaluation, any attachment or aversion. clinging or pushing away. Just allow yourself to rest here. Let go. Feel into the backside of your body, being fully supported on the mat. Full support here. Feel into the caress or hug or gentle hold of gravity enveloping you. Feel into the safety and security of your own space through the efforts that you have put forward to sanctify that space, to make it holy for you, your practice, your body, your mind. Allow yourself to just be. And then honor yourself. Offer and give yourself the gift of rest and honor yourself for doing so, for allowing yourself to just be, just as you are in this moment, fully at rest, complete, whole, perfectly imperfect. Feel into what it is like to be free in this moment. Feel into what it is like to release into rest. Feel what it is like to just be. Allowing the breath to come and go. Allowing the body to just be supported, to be held. Allowing the mind to wander as it will without any attachment, without any judgment. Allowing your practice and the effects of your practice to integrate into your being, into the cells of your being, into your soul. Recognizing for yourself the healing benefit of the tools that we use. These practices help us to integrate and heal, to become whole, W-H-O-L-E. Restoring our health at every level of the being. We talked about the 5 bodies today. We're healing across all 5 bodies. And I heard today teaching the breath body, the pranamaya kosha. The 5 bodies are known as koshas. The pranamaya kosha, the breath body. The breath body has no age. The breath is always fresh and new. Each breath is a new moment. Each moment is total and complete in and of itself. There is no past, no future. Therefore, there is no timeline. There is no aging. The breath body is always infinite and always present. And we work to engage our awareness of that breath body, that moment, that presence, that agelessness. Feel into that for this next moment or two as we explore what it is like to rest in silence. If perchance you notice that your attention has wandered away, I invite you to bring gratitude to that noticing, and then to gently and compassionately return your focus to your breath. On your next inhale, I invite you to begin to reconnect with your body, perhaps wiggling your toes and your fingers, maybe rotating your ankles and your wrists. Continuing to reacclimate to your body, I invite you to bring your knees toward the ceiling, your heels toward your hips, and to extend your right arm alongside your head so that your bicep frames your ear. As you are ready, and only as you are ready, I invite you to gently roll to your right side, allowing your right arm to cradle your head and neck like a pillow. Take a moment here on your right side to get used and to prepare. And then as you are prepared, and only as you are prepared to be upright again, I invite you to bring your left arm in front of your torso and to use your left arm to support yourself gently, leveraging yourself back into a seated posture. Reestablishing your supports in your seat, re-elongating and aligning your spine, reconnecting with your breath. On your next inhale, I invite you once again to float your hands to your heart in a way that brings awareness to your heart space, and to allow to arise in your heart space perhaps one more thing for which you are grateful here this evening. And witnessing yourself seated in gratitude, witnessing your gratitude, witnessing yourself seated in gratitude in your space, I will take this opportunity to extend my sense of gratitude to you from this space. Thank you so much for coming and sharing your practice. Thank you for staying. I noticed we lost a couple. Thank you so much for spending time with me. I'm honored to be here, truly. And as always, in closing, I invite you to stay here in grateful witness for as long as you like. And when you do rise, please, please take your gratitude and the echoes of your practice with you as you go through the remainder of your day, lifting yourself and all that you come into contact with. Have an amazing day. Mm-hmm.